So Ed, how does one wake up in the morning and decide to do what you're doing on a daily basis?
Being young and desperate in Mexico during an economic downturn. That's about it. It was. I always tell people that I'm a cautionary tale more than anything. I was in medical school after 9/11, and the economy tanked all over the country.
Interesting.
Specifically on the border because of the border restrictions. And I didn't have a lot of choice. Somebody in their early 20s. There's only a few choices. One of them is going in to work for the cartels, and the other one was going to work for the government in this new experimental police unit that they wanted to kind of put forward. So I opted out and went for that police career.
Now, were you ever recruited? Did you ever get the opportunity to go work for the cartel or no?
That was that's a process that happens when you get recruited into police forces. When you're in the when you sign up for this, they do a background check. They do an FBI background check. They look into your financials. They look at who your brothers and sisters are. All this type of stuff. That process begins when you sign up for recruitment. And then when you're inside the academy, every now and then they just start pulling people out of there. People that the FBI background checks take a while. So people that have some sort of history on the U.S. side criminally that doesn't show up in Mexican databases, or people that they find some sort of relationship with cartel members, that type of stuff.
So recruiting is you first go to become work for the government, and then the cartel recruits you away from the government to go work for them.
So sometimes that's the case. Sometimes they send young people just off the bat, apadrinados, as they call them. Apadrinados means somebody that's paying your way, basically. And that's common even to this day throughout a lot of police forces. People being there, showing up in a brand new Jeep to the recruitment center, which is pretty suspect, or just being inside, making their way through the whole academy process. And when they're active, they just start working for cartel interests from within police forces. A little bit of all of that happened. Some of the older guys working on would offer, hey, you want to work for us? And when you say, what do you mean us? Like us? Like, you know what? That's interesting, but I like being alive, and I also I'm just here to work. That I'm talking about 2004 era. That's a weird transitional time between the old way that things were done in Mexico and then the new drug war that was kicked off by Felipe Calderon. So you saw a massive purge in a lot of police forces, including the one I was a part of, with desperate measures being implemented, like consistently putting agents through polygraph exams. House visits, surprise house visits to all agents involved. And they would go into your bedroom and take a picture of your TV to see if it matches up the TV you had only last visit. And if you had a new one, you would have to explain how much.
You gotta be kidding me!
Oh, this is. And
well, they're smart for doing that, though. Good for them if they're getting that detailed.
It was a plan it was a control and confidence plan that they had on a national level that didn't work for a simple reason. The higher ups didn't go through that control and confidence plan. That's why you started seeing high-level people being arrested only recently that were part of all those efforts to kind of clean up police forces. It worked for a while, and there's a lot of research out there. There's a lot of papers out there talking about some of the only drug war successes on behalf of the Mexican government occurring in places like Baja, where I was really active in, and a lot of that had to do with the implementation of some of these things, like police certification processes coming in from the U.S. There's a international police certification process called CALIA, which is run by American police officers. And we went through it and were certified by that program. It wasn't easy, specifically for a police group in Mexico, to get through it. But they made a really good effort with us to try to keep us on the straight and narrow. The problem in the end was that every 6 years, Mexico goes through a case of self-inflicted amnesia. We're not a two-party system in Mexico. There's a few more parties than that.
Mm-hmm.
So Felipe Calderon went out. Central kind of leftist came in, and everything was kind of redone. Programs were canceled. Things were deemed unconstitutional, like having somebody go into your house and take pictures of your private life, or being polygraphed and having a polygraph examination be the means for which the government tells you can't work there anymore. That was deemed unconstitutional. So guess what happened to all these people that were purged out of some of these police forces during that massive attempt to clean up the police forces in Mexico? They all came back. Well, at least some of them. Those that didn't go to work for the cartels came back. And you saw basically, 6 years worth of trying to clean up a system that is deeply corrupted. Just go out the window. And now all these people are coming back. And recently you have a leftist president that basically just said, we're just going to start from zero. So meaning the National Federal Police is going to stop existing, and all the guys that went into police work as a career path, that doesn't mean anything anymore. You're going to get paid exactly like the field soldier that you're going to be working next with, and off you go, right? All the things you did, all the stuff you did is now discounted. It doesn't matter.
You're kidding me. So all the tenure, everything you did, you're going back to zero, no matter what you've done.